Hello Internet, I am Critias, and this is Arcaestral, City of Magic. We're here on day 4001 of my totemless hardcore world, and we're going to do a guided tour of the city to show you guys what's in and around this project I've been working on, or I finished rather, after 15 months. It was all built, live streamed on Twitch, unedited, uncut, all that goodness. Now, I don't normally do videos for YouTube, so apologies for the scuff in advance. We're just going to go through unscripted, as is my usual style, and we'll go from one end to the other, show you guys some of the things that may not have made it into the video, talk a little bit about what went into the project, hopefully answer a few questions, and we'll finish up inside the main castle. So, to begin with, we'll head over to the entrance to the city. That was World Spawn, up on that platform. But the actual entrance to the city lies to the northeast, outside here in this mountain valley. So originally I was going to come in through another way, but the views would have been horrendous, so we changed to this direction, and as it happens, it turned out to be a very good choice. We tunneled into a cavern, which you saw in the video as well, but this is the opening, the entrance. We've gone for like a medieval castle type appeal here, but since this is a city for wizards, we've gone with a magical portcullis out of end rods. I used something like 8,500 end rods in this build, so they are everywhere. I like to play with light and reflections in this project, so the shaders make the quartz floor reflect everything around it, as does the water in the lake. So you'll see a lot of end rods, lots of sea lanterns and such. So tunneling through the mountain here, we'll pop out. We came into a natural cave, which at first I was just going to build a tunnel and just make it look like a closed system coming through, but I thought this would look really cool if we could do a suspension bridge of light in a dark space here. So you can see the mobs down there, but on the upper level I went through and removed all of the granite and all the diorite, removed all the ores I could find, and then slabbed the entire thing, so it's basically spawn proofed. We don't get any mobs in this top region, and we get this really cool play of light and dark in the opening shot here. But it's a straight shot, 45-degree tunnel straight through the northeastern portion of the valley, and as we come through the tunnel here, you can see the Nether Spire up ahead. That's what we call the Nether Portal Tower. There's the archives, the library. Up ahead is the main base, that is Starlight Citadel. That functions as the main base for this region. And up this way we have the observatory. So we need to blitz through this pretty quick. There's a lot to see, and I don't want to waffle on for too long. The first time I tried this video, I went for like an hour. So we'll move quick. Okay, so this was the first build that I did in this place. I wanted to test out the build style and the block palette. So I originally constructed your basic your basic mob farm. We've got 4 mob farms inside this building, all spaced close enough to each other that just one block separates them. They're currently disabled, so the floors are all permanently flooded at the moment, but you can see we've got 4 mob farms that each feed into their own filtration system with a overflow protection to keep items from clogging up the system. And we enter in through this little dogleg turn with black concrete, so it looks like it gives the illusion of an open door there. So this farm I haven't used for a long time actually, because I don't really need the bones anymore. It's primarily what I needed it for. And we've got a creeper farm inside the castle, so that hasn't run for quite some time. So the idea for this city was it is a magocracy. The whole city is run and occupied entirely by wizards, and the lore goes that a comet fell from space and smashed into this region and created a lake at the bottom of the city, Starfall Lake, and the very first mage to discover magic did so here and established a colony where he taught his craft to others, and it's slowly grown over time to become this massive city. There's a statue to him in the library here. The clock tower houses the first of several farms throughout the city. This whole place is basically world spawn, main base, and a redstone district. So tucked in back this way we have a versatile tree farm by ENXO4. A very simplistic farm, very quick and easy to make, very easy to use. It does provide quite a lot of material for the effort and materials that go into it. It's gotten me all of the wood that I've used in this world so far. We've also got a shuffler here for getting more mushrooms to grow the trees, as well as a 4 times composter to process all of the wart blocks we get from the farm. That's another one there. We'll pick him up in a minute. So the shader pack I use is called complementary shaders. It gives us a lot of these cool reflections. We get the nice shadows. The leaves move. Not these ones, but I think standard leaves move ever so slightly. This building here is another tree farm. This one I think is by Logical Geek Boy, and it's specifically for birch and oak. I don't think the other trees fit in this one, but it uses a TNT duper and a blast chamber. So my blast chambers had to be lined with obsidian because the quartz buildings are extremely brittle. They have virtually no explosive resistance, and even one piece of TNT going off near these places and they disintegrate. Not every building has a farm inside. Many of them are just for decoration. And we have these little pathways and gardens tucked into every corner of the city. I didn't want there to be anywhere where I could move through the buildings and find just an empty space that wasn't being utilized. A little study nook back this way. We've also got the micro blocks pack from Vanilla Tweaks. This is very, very popular. We got micro blocks. We have mobs that drop their heads when killed. We also run with infinite trades, which is how I got the quartz for this place. Originally I was going to run with 200 or so masons to get my quartz, but that would have taken the entire day. Each Minecraft day would have been devoted entirely to trading. It was going to play havoc on my PC to have that many mobs in one place. So eventually I decided we could try void trading. If you're familiar with void trading, that was another option, but it's also quite time consuming. So infinite trades simply removes the daily allotment of trades per villager per day and allows me to purchase as many quartz as I need as long as I have the emeralds to trade. So we ran with a purchasing glass blocks, fashioning those into panes, selling the panes for emeralds, and then trading the emeralds to a mason for quartz. And I could fill a shulker with quartz blocks in about 30 seconds. Very, very good mod to run if you do a lot of trades and you don't want to clog up your trading hall with hundreds of villagers. I think in total we had like 605,000 trades. It's kind of nutty. So we got a bunch of these little buildings towards the coast of the lake here. The further you move from the mountains, the smaller the buildings get, and there's also more space between them. And this gives a kind of like an optical illusion. It makes the city appear bigger than it is, because you can see between the buildings up front, to catch glimpses of buildings in the back. The whole city itself isn't that big in terms of number of structures, but it looks like it is because you can get row upon row viewed through each other. We'll pop into another farm back this way. This building contains 2 farms. We have a bone meal farm here by El Mango. This one's quite popular. I think this one produces something in the vicinity of 7,000 to 9,000 bone meal per hour. I have very, very simple storage on my farms. I haven't gone too crazy. I don't tend to accumulate resources unless I need them. Otherwise, I don't build up massive stockpiles unless I have a purpose for them. Same thing with this moss farm by, I think this is a Raiseworks. A Raiseworks moss farm, I think. I can't remember who made this one, but again, very simple storage here. This one in particular, very, very touchy redstone. You do not want to leave the area with this thing running, and absolutely do not log off with the redstone on. It will break. No matter how many times you tell yourself you won't break it again, you will. And it's a real mongrel to fix. So we've got more gardens spaced around. We've played a lot with prismarine and sandstone to give ourselves some subtle accents, a bit of different color variation. The whole city is made out of quartz and warped wood almost exclusively, so a little bit of variety here and there doesn't hurt. These lampposts are made using beacons. The shaders make them glow an intense blue-white, which makes them stand out against the mostly white light of the sea lanterns there. All of the windows are faced with glass as well, but unfortunately one of the drawbacks to the shader pack is that glass becomes pretty much invisible. But if we switch them off for a second, you can see they do have the cyan glass in them as well, keeping in tie with the colors. This symbol is used repeatedly throughout the city. It's a starburst, as you can see here, with an elongated bottom point. Now that symbol was used extensively in the Games Workshop High Elves, which is one of the main inspirations for this city. They use a lot of white and creams and blues in their builds, and that symbol, I thought it was quite cool, so I went with it. And I feel like using a symbol or a banner throughout a town or a city gives it an identity and ties it all together. So here's the founder of Arcaestral, the first wizard in this world. I named him Macross after Macross the Black from the Magician book by Raymond Feist, which was my favorite fantasy novel of all time. I'm pretty sure it's being made into a TV series, but it's in the works. But this is where the magicians of the city compile and catalog all of their magical research. This is the sum total of 1,000 years of magical study and practice. We got a book here with the stats of this world. You can see here that the city was started on day 1800. That was the day that the castle was completed. The castle was built first, the city came after. I completed it on day 3888, now day 4001. You can see we've used over 200,000 quartz bricks, 20 to 25,000 sea lanterns, bone blocks, warped stairs. I used 20,000 rockets, which is a lot less than I expected. I jumped nearly 570,000 times because I do that. There's the 600,000 trades. We killed 162 withers for beacons and for street lamps, and 1 goat. He got in my way. I forget exactly when and where, but I think it was up there. So this lake is hand dug. It did not exist in the original world seed, and because of that, there are no drowned spawning here, because it is a meadow biome here, and drowned spawn in rivers. So no need to spawn proof it. We can leave it dark underneath. No light sources required, which also means we get these perfect reflections off the water. So over in this direction, we have the super smelter for the city. Now, I didn't really need a large supply of glass because I could just buy it from villagers, but smooth quartz was something I needed quite a bit of. All of the roads are smooth quartz. I used a fair bit of smooth sandstone for many of the facing blocks in the retaining walls and such, and I felt like at some point I'm going to need large-scale smelting operation. So this building back here in the red district, which uses red nether brick and redstone lamps for the windows, this contains my super smelter. I haven't the slightest idea who designed this one. I should have written all of this down and done my research, but this is a 64 smelter array. There's a fuel chest here. We're using coal, and then there's the input chest and the output chest. It's just a double chest at a time, unfortunately. I don't think I can actually expand upon this without breaking the farm itself. But in future, I'm going to install a perpetual fuel supply at the back using the new auto crafters, and then loop in, I think, kelp blocks or something to have this thing fueled up. We have a bunch more of these decorative buildings. You can see we're at the back of the city now, so the buildings get progressively larger and they're all connected together. We've got like a water column elevator here to get up to the golem factory. So being wizards, they're not known for their physicality. So the wizards of Arcaestral construct magical automatons to do a lot of the manual labor, security, and assisting them with their research and such. This is a war golem that's having its final assembly. The arms are about to be bolted on, and this will be one of the constructs used to protect the city from invaders. And then across this way we have another farm structure. This one contains my iron farm. You can hear a golem in there burning away at the moment. There's just 3 villagers and 1 zombie up there. A very small, very basic iron farm, but it is in spawn chunks, so it's running around the clock, and it does enough. Not a terrible amount of iron, but we don't really need a whole lot at the moment. We can always upscale this if I need to. We've got a small sheep farm back this way for any wool I might need, and a tiny little cactus job back there. Like I said, if I need something in numbers, I will ramp up production or make something crazy, but I don't want to accumulate blocks just for the heck of it. So all of the trees of the city are all topiaried, I think is the word for it, where they're trimmed to make a certain shape. We've got these little ones back this way. There are slightly bigger ones elsewhere, and then we have these big ones spotted around with the flowering leaves as well. The whole idea of this place, I wanted to make it look like it was built up and catered like a botanical garden as opposed to a natural thing. Everything has been done purposefully. There's a concrete converter. Again, I can't remember who did it. I will try and search up the original designers and credit them in the video description, but this is it uses another TNT dripper on a timer and can convert 2 double chests of concrete powder into solid blocks and collect everything down there. Again, I haven't had much use for concrete yet, but it's there when I need it. Many of these other buildings are big enough to put farms in future if I need them. But yeah, every farm I need is currently in the world, either here or elsewhere. I think the last farm I have is actually in this building. This is my sheep farm. Oh, my sheep. This is my honey farm. We collect honeycomb and honey bottles. Very basic. I think everyone in their dog has got this design somewhere, so I've got one of each. And you can see here more of the decorative builds scattered around. This whole coastline back that way, that whole section is all decorative as well. We got the lake here. Pop into free cam again. You can see the reflective surface gives us that double whammy with the lighting of the buildings and then the water again. There's a waterfall back this way. The shaders don't do the best at highlighting water either, so we've added some handmade splash effects to there. And this is the purple district, what we call Nethermancy, where the mages have been experimenting with extraplanar beings and teleportation magics. We have a large crystal here, suspended up in the little stasis pod, and we have the stairs that go up to the nether portal itself. So the symbol for the Nethermancers is a key, because they unlock other planes of existence to study and explore. There's 2 portals, one at this location and another one up top. Well, technically 4 up here in the tower. If I take that portal, I come out below the bedrock ceiling. If I take those ones, I come out above it, where I can access the farms and quick travel to other places. That one's for exploring the nether. I don't have a nether hub or a tunnel system yet, but I would like to make one in future. And we just heard our mobs. We got some captive test subjects where our mages are experimenting and doing research on beings from other planes. So we have some captive endermen here. You guys are all name tagged, and they're all held within a 1x1x3 cage, which is actually, as far as I'm aware, the only way you can keep an enderman from teleporting is to completely restrict their movement. So these guys will stay here indefinitely. And we can hear the prime test subject up the stairs here. So being a mountain range, obviously there's many ancient cities around here. I think there's a total of 7 within a few hundred blocks of spawn. And we have Specimen 01, affectionately known as Sniffles. Over here, bud. That's Sniffles. He's a good boy. So Sniffles is being studied, as are all of the various skulk implements. Wizards are doing experiments to determine what these things are, what they can do. We got a few of these little automatons around the place to perform lab work. And we've got a book here of research notes. If you're into world lore or world building, I'll pause briefly at each page, so you can just pause the video and read it yourself. apologies if that's not your thing, but for me personally, that's one of the main things that keeps me interested in a large build like this. Giving a world or giving a project a reason for existing is the best way to maintain interest and keep you inspired and keep you excited. We've got a backstory for this place, we have characters, we have history. It all just makes it feel more rich and vibrant, like a world that's alive. Now, I've been asked a few questions in the past about this project in particular. One of them was, why don't I texture? The whole city is made basically with 4 or 5 different types of blocks, and I will say that texturing is great. I do it myself on many other projects. Gradients are fantastic. We're going for a very specific type of aesthetic with this place, being that it's run by wizards who can do whatever they want with magic. If there's anything that looks run down or broken or is starting to decay through wear and tear, they can just snap their fingers, wave a wand, and it's all pristine again. So this place had to look like it was finished yesterday, as it would always look this way. And unfortunately, when you texture a build, many times it makes it look lived in or old or run down or starting to fall apart. It makes it look less than perfect, and in most cases that's actually what you want. You want it to look real. This place has to look unreal for it to work, and also I don't have to texture that way because it can be tedious. Also, many of the blocks that I would texture with, like calcite or concrete, don't actually reflect light with the shader pack, so all of these reflections would have been ruined. So it's a win-win. I think sometimes it is possible to over-texture. You can strain the eye or confuse the brain about where you're supposed to look. If you apply too much texturing, too little can look half-assed, like you didn't do it properly. But if you do none at all, honestly, it works. I think it works very well more often than not. Another question I get often is, how? How did I do this? Slowly. Very slowly, one day at a time, and by breaking the project up into smaller pieces. Do not attempt to make a 200 and something thousand block quartz city in one hit. I do it one building at a time. Each building is its own miniature project. So every time I finish one, it's one more tally, one more small victory, and they all start to add up over time. Yeah, that and the background story really helps bring it together. So I don't know how much time we've got. I think we're approaching half an hour. We're going to try and blitz through this. So this is Starlight Citadel. It has its own video. We might as well go ahead and play that now. You'll notice that it's filmed before the city was finished, so you'll see this whole area here isn't actually done when that video runs. You will also catch that window just barely on part of the thing. That was the only other structure that was finished at the time. So enjoy that, and I'll see you when you come back. Welcome back. This is home. So the city and the castle together are one giant project, but this was the first major project of this world. Now, my home base on my previous hardcore world was a Japanese themed island retreat that was named Hinansho, which means basically a quiet retreat or a haven, a safe haven. It was supposed to be quiet and cozy and make you feel comfortable and relaxed when you're home. For this project and this world, I wanted to go for something a bit more drastic and give people a virtual punch in the face at the scale and impact when you first see this place. So everything in this place is big and tall and grand. It makes you feel small and surrounded by magic everywhere you look, including the storage room. So this is my storage. It's all completely manual. There's no redstone involved. It's all just sorted by block type. So all of the dark prismarine is in one box. All of the sea lanterns are in another box. All of the prismarine bricks are in another box. And if I ever get enough of a block that I can fill a shulker, I do. And I put it in with it, and it basically compresses my storage. So stone, for instance, we have stone brick or stone blocks, everything you make with stone, and then stone that's been compressed down into shulkers. There's no point having 50 double chests of stone if you just need a handful at a time, and if you need bulk, it's right there. So obviously we have a shulker farm in the end where I can get my shells. I haven't really AFK'd it that much, so I only have that many and some pre-assembled ones. We've got everything sorted by block type, trees. All of the wood types are here as well. So we have dark oak logs, everything you make with dark oak, and then if I had extra, they'd be compressed down there as well. Up these stairs, which is also accessed from out this way, we have the lobby foyer. I don't know what to call this place. The entry hall. We've got a large spherical fish tank, and then these staircases, which took me about 3 hours to make because spiral staircases are an absolute pain. That way goes to the council chambers. So every time I stream on Twitch, I start and finish my streams from here. This is the council who runs the city of Arcaestral. That is, of course, Grand Master Bigglesworth. He's the boss, he's the Grand Master, he runs the show. I'm his number 2 man. I'm not even in charge of my own world. He's the boss. We're not actually allowed to leave this table until he gives the meow, and then we can leave and go about our business. Back that way are personalized rooms for my chat moderators. And this way is the first of 2 wings of personalized rooms. We have a channel point redemption, where by submitting channel points earned by watching the streams and interacting, you get your own room. You get to design it yourself. I will recreate your builds, or you can give me a description and I'll just run off that and make it here. Upstairs we have more rooms. Creeper farm and sugarcane farm are that way. For making my rockets, that's just a passive thing that just makes a little bit as I need them. This is affectionately known as Hogwarts Hall, though we could not make a magical city without a nod to Harry Potter. So here we have a nod to Hogwarts and the 4 houses. Yeah, and the candles, which took, I think, 4-5 hours maybe to get them all up there. That was just a scaffolding of dirt, layers of dirt with candles, and then just remove the dirt. Down this way we come to the castle library. More bookshelves. I think in total I used something like 8.5 shulkers of bookshelves for this city. I've gone with looms for empty shelves. The new chiseled bookshelves do exist, but they're also containers that the game is constantly searching for contents, and they will cause lag if you have too many. We've got a little balcony out here. Now the rain has spoiled our view, unfortunately, but the second wing of custom rooms do get a lot of excellent views when the sky isn't pouring rain. You can see outside to the city. We got more of the rooms back this way. I think we've still got a few of them left, but I don't expect them to last too much longer. We've got 1, 2, 3 floors of rooms. I think 53 in total, and I think we've got 6 left. I haven't finished making all of them. I'm still awaiting designs from some people, and others are in the process of making something up. We'll get to them in time. And then this tunnel hallway takes us back to the main lobby, but we do have one last stop. This is the museum, or the Hall of Memories. Not sure what to call this place, but this is where I keep track of important dates and events in the world. We've got the dragon egg on display back that way. Like here we have the very first pickaxe ever made on this world is my trusty wooden pick, which keeps track of the date that I started. It was the 15th of March 2023. It was 4 days after I died in my first world. And we have the start and finish dates for our first mega project. We've got the first pickaxe that I lost in this world was Silky. Silky died on the 17th of April, which is why we call this one Silky Sequel. We got the first god apple ever found, the first ancient city ever cleared, and we got the first dragon kill. It was 2 days after starting the world, and then we've got 1,000 days, 2,000 days, 3,000 days, and we got to mark 4,000 days. Haven't added that in yet, but we will. Got to get a mob for that. Not sure which one. So yeah, that concludes the tour of the city. Not the best weather to finish up on, I'm afraid. Can't control that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. The next project is already underway. It's over that way. We're working on a Guardian Farm project next. It's the first of 2 special tribute builds for people who have inspired me both to play Minecraft and to stream it in general. So the current project is dedicated to Bilzar, father of hardcore, and we're already well underway. If you guys want to check it out, I stream 5 days a week on Twitch at Twitch TV /Critius_. Underscore is important. Yeah, I'd love to have you drop in, hang out, have a chat while we listen to some lo-fi, low energy music, and just chill out. It's a pretty comfortable place to be. There's more than enough people screaming and carrying on Twitch. We like to go for something a bit more laid back. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the tour. I'm not the best at this sort of thing, but hopefully you didn't mind too much. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for hanging out. And stay tuned for more videos in future. I'd like to do some tutorial hints and tips videos in future to show people how I do what I do. And make things a little easy for some people. Bigglesworth agrees. Catch you guys later.